62.
Think about it with the $2. I have quads.
What is going on, guys? If you like roller coaster sessions of poker, then this is the video for you. This trip was not expected. I got a text from my brother saying him and his friend were driving to Vegas in the morning for a concert, and hearing Vegas, my ears perked up. So I kind of sort of invited myself. Super last minute trip, but it was a good one, let me tell you. Our property of choice in this one, a go-to spot, the Aria 2-5, and I already knew the table was going to be good because I was informed right away of the mandatory straddle, so always a good sign the game is good when that happens. It took a while to get seated, a super packed Friday night, but it didn't take long for us to get involved. We looked down at ace-queen offsuit in the cutoff. It folds around to us, and we make it a standard 3x. The button folds, the small blind next to act puts in a 3-bet, but only makes it $80 to go. The big blind and straddler fold back on us, and not even a 3x, so kind of a no-brainer call for us. We're in position and go heads up to a flop, and the flop comes ace-10-7 rainbow. A great flop for us. The only thing we got to be concerned about is ace-king, which would suck. He's first to act, and he throws out a continuation bet, a small one, only $45. A major down bet, was expecting at least $55 or $60, but 45 is the number. I don't think a raise makes any sense. A set wouldn't raise here, and a raise is only folding out worse. And if he's bluffing, let's just let him continue to bluff. So we call the $45 bet, off to a turn, and it's a safe one. It's a 9 of clubs. Action's on him. See if he wants to bet or slow down. I expect all pocket pairs to slow down, jacks, queens, kings. So when he bets again, I eliminate those from his range. He decides to bet $150. So with this bet, I'm putting him on ace king, or even the same hand as us, ace queen, but more so ace king. I immediately start to think, what would I do with a set here or 2 pair? Because we just call this 3-bet, so we can have pocket 9s, pocket 10s, ace 9, ace 10. And with those hands, we'd want to get value from a holding like ace king. So we decide to raise and put top into a bad spot. We raise it up to $425. Not super big, but not small either, a healthy amount. He takes his time contemplating on what to do, and he does decide to make the call. All right, this pot is getting big, a 4-figure pot already, and still need to see one more card. And it does come, probably one of the safest cards is a 3 of clubs. No flushes, no new straights, nothing like that. He checks on over to us, and we have a decision to make. I'm still thinking we have the same hand, or ace king, so how big of a bet do we need to make it to get ace king to fold? He covers us. He started the hand with over 2K, so he clearly covers us. We have almost $1,000 in our stack left. The pot is $1,000. I feel like a jam feels more bluffy though. Polarizing, saying we have a set or nothing. Yes, we see it more often than not online, jamming majority of the time with whatever they have, the nuts, nothing, or all in between. But this is actually real life. No cameras, well, mine I guess, but you get what I mean. Nobody's live, so how much is the question? We take our time and count out chips, and the number we come up with is $525. Basically a half pot size bet. Now all we got to do is wait for our fate. It's out of our hands. We're obviously hoping for a fold because we're either chopping or losing. We get him to think for quite a while. He's counting out chips, thinking about what to do, debating on calling or folding. A whole minute goes by, and he does finally make the call, which is probably not good for us. We show our cards, and sure enough, he flips over ace 9 offsuit. So he binked his 3-outer on the turn.
Nice turn.
I was hoping like ace jack, ace queen. Like, did he flop this set?
Nice turn. I didn't think you were that strong. Like ace king, or we're chopping. I was trying to get ace king to fold.
Making him tank for that long, I still like our play. Just happened to raise on the turn when he caught 2 pair. Any other card, and we'd be in great shape. But that's the game. You either look like a genius when things work out, or a moron when they don't. We add on $500 to our stack. I usually top off for the max, but I only brought $2,000 with me, so now in the game for $2,000 total with a lot of making up to do. We have to let the last one go quickly because the very next shuffle we get dealt in and we look down at pocket nines. Ugh, hated to see the last 9 about 60 seconds ago, but I guess we want to see some now. Go from hating a card to now wanting them. Like I said at the beginning, the mandatory straddle was on, so I don't really have to keep on saying and telling you guys that it's on. Just know that it's on. It folds to us and we open to $30. Only the big blind makes the call, so going heads up to a flop in position, and the flop comes ace-6-2 with 2 clubs. Only one overcard, not the best, but definitely not the worst either. We were the initial aggressor, should have more aces in our range, blah, 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 blah. He checks on over to us. We c-bet to $35. He calls pretty much right away, off to a turn. Come on, please a 9, that's not a club though. And I think we're asking for too much since there's only one of those cards left in the deck, because the poker gods sadly disappoint and brings out the king of hearts. Wow, getting worse and worse. He checks again on over to us, and I sort of switch my brain into telling myself we have an ace, and how would I play it if we did have one? We would continue, and we do. We throw out a black chip and announce $75. He makes the call again, not as quick as the flop, but still rather quickly. The river is a total blank. It's a 3 of spades. He checks again for a third time, and I go back and forth. Do we fire that third barrel as a bluff or take our 9s to showdown, which probably isn't good, right? It's a tough choice. I mean, he check called the whole way. I guess we beat missed flush draws, but no ace is folding. Maybe a weak king like king 10. So I don't know. We ultimately check, show our cards, and shockingly, they are good. Definitely didn't expect that, but I'll take it. It makes that big boo-boo we got not hurt as much, but still a ways to go to get back to even. Always feels good to get a quick win after a big hit though. You can just tell the players at this table were action. We're in the big blind this hand, and the player in seat 3, the one who tank called with 2 pair, puts on the double straddle to $20, which here at the Aria, it's not live, meaning if no one raises, the double straddle doesn't get last action. So say everyone limps, he can't squeeze, which is a dumb rule in my opinion, but some places don't even allow double straddles, so at least they allowed here. But it folds to the button, who raises to $70. The small blind folds. We're next to act and look down at the jiggities. There is no right way to play jack, so we just take the cautious route and smooth call. The double straddler did say as long as the raise isn't a massive one, he wasn't going to look at his cards, so I knew we weren't going to get squeezed. The under the gun, the first straddler folds, and the double straddler calls $50 more, so going 3 ways to a flop, one player looked at his cards and the other one didn't. Some strange dynamics, but the flop comes ace, 10, and 4 with 2 diamonds. Of course, another ace when we have a middling pair. We check and flow. The under the gun 1 checks to the pre-flop aggressor, and he decides to check as well. He still hasn't looked, going to a turn, and the turn comes the 3 of clubs, 2 flush draws now out there. I really don't know what to do. We have a diamond, so I guess blocking diamonds, but I seriously don't know how to play this. We just check to see what happens. The under the gun 1 checks again, and so does the button. Dang, maybe we do have the best hand, at least against the button. Who knows what the under the gun 1 has, because he doesn't even know. The river comes off, another 10, a 10 of hearts. So we were beating a pair of 10s, but not anymore. We check for a third time. Not going to get a worse hand to call, I don't think. Because if we bet, the under the gun 1 can raise huge with anything and put us in a really tough spot. Luckily, he checks, and the button checks.
9 high. Jack. Nice, there you go. You guys are so safe.
An ace high board out of position. I mean, what are we really gonna do? But that wasn't the craziest thing that made it clear that 2-5 wasn't their normal games and that they were just gamblers. Cause one of the players suggested to the table, we should all just put our money together and let it ride on Baccarat. And he didn't mean just the money on the table. He was talking like 5,000. One of the other guys mentioned 8K. So some of the players were down, and I'm like,
how about no? You crazy Dutch bastard.
I mean, I'm a gambler. I've done some degen stuff before, but putting bankroll type of money, letting it ride on a coin flip basically is not my style. Just a little rant, giving you a better idea of the vibe of the table. But anyways, onto this hand, an orbit later, we're in the end of the gun. There's a middle position limp for $10. The small blind limps for 10. Big blind gets out of the way. Action on us. And we look down at the ducks. As I've said in previous videos, these smaller pocket pairs, I want to be more aggressive with them instead of hoping to catch a set, giving us another chance to win with being that aggressor. So we raise things up to $45. A tad small, but we're going with it. The middle position player calls and gives the small blind a good price. He calls as well. So going 3 ways to a flop in between 2 opponents. And the flop comes 7-5-2 with 2 diamonds. Amazing board for our hand, not our range, which is why raising small pairs is good. If boards come out like this, it's less likely we hit, and our range is capped to an overpair most of the time, but not this time. So let's take advantage. Only flush draws we're really afraid of, but we can get value from those. And if we are set under set, then we just lose all our money, I guess. Let's not think that way though. Anyway, the small blind first act checks and flow, and like I said, we can get value from diamonds, so let's charge. We make a continuation bet and we throw out $55. The action's on the middle position and he doesn't seem to agree with 55. He makes it more. He bumps it up to 160. This is what I was talking about most of the time. We're gonna whiff this flop and have an overpair at best. Maybe sometimes have ace something of diamonds. So I think he's just doing this since he's in position and thinking we whiffed. But music to our ears. Set of 5s, doubtful. Set of 7s, very doubtful. Action now on the small blind. He looks back at his cards and he actually calls $160. Oh my God, what do we do now? We have 2 players showing interest in the hand. We have bottom set. I mean, do we raise now and chance them getting off the hook? Or do we smooth call and gamble that no diamond comes on the turn? I don't know. F it. Let's gamble. No diamond dealer, come on. Heart's beating, and I'm not sure if it slows down or beats even faster when we see the 2 of hearts come on the turn. Bang, let's go, quads, baby. Now let's hope one of them had a set or anything good so we can triple up. The small blind checks. We check and flow to the aggressor, see what he wants to do. He thinks for a bit, and he does continue. He throws out $275. Action on the small blind, and he takes maybe 5-10 seconds max, and he calls $275. Oh my God, I am dreaming, aren't I? Why can't this be a $50, $100 game for hundreds of thousands of dollars? If only, right? But alright, focus. I think no matter what we do, it's gonna look super strong, but I think we should just get it in now. I mean, a boat is calling regardless. An overpair can definitely call like 8s, 9s, 10s, thinking we have the nut flush draw. I don't know, let's just do it and hope for the best. That's what we do, we announce all in. The middle position player goes into the tank, and he tanks. He still has the small blind behind, so I don't blame him, which he has way more money than we have. They both have around 2K effective, so definitely a lot of money to still play for. And after a minute and a half of tanking, he finally lets it go. Dang, there's still hope though. The small blind asks how much. The dealer finally counts out the chips, and it's $762 more after the $275. At this point, he's on his feet. He's a little bit older, so maybe eyesight isn't very good, but he's interested, definitely. Trying to see if flush or straight possibilities are out there. Just trying to figure it out, really. Calculating, and after another 30 seconds of thinking.
I have quads.
Oh, jeez, my boy said
Once, or whatever.
He made the call. Not sure what he called with, but can't really beat quads. Just a massive, massive hand, and luckily we got paid. The middle position player said if the other two didn't come, then I get paid from him because he had 2 pair, so 7-5 suited. But who really knows if that 2 didn't come or what kind of cards would have come on the turn and river if diamonds came or if he got counterfeited somehow. And who knows what the small blind had. He could have flushed out or beat us both. But glad we got paid with quads. It's hard enough to get quads, let alone have that much action in the hand with quads and get paid. Definitely one for the books. Not too long after, one of the end seats open up, so we take it to get a better view for you guys. We're in middle position. The under the gun 1 limps for $10. We are next to act and look down at another pair, 7s this time. We just limp. We were chatting with a few of the guys about the channel, just playing this one chill. It folds to the small blind and he squeezes for $60. The big blind and straddler fold, the under the gun 1 calls, and we're getting a good price. We call $50 more, so going 3 ways to a flop in position, and the flop comes 9-8-6 with 2 spades. All in all, an okay board for our range and our hand. The small blind pre-flop aggressor checks and flow, cause I'm sure he knows that this board will connect much more with either one of us than him. The under the gun 1 checks as well, and a lot of potential and scare cards that can come on the turn and river. So we bet for protection, and if we hit, we bet to build a pot. We throw out $40. The small blind calls, and the under the gun 1 also calls. I'll take a red 2 just like last time, or a 5, a red 5, that works too. A miracle red 5, we are running super hot right now. The small blind checks again. However, the under the gun 1 does not check. He puts in a bet of his own in the tune of $175. Does he have one of the other remaining 7s? I guess we'll find out. We don't want a smooth call here and then a spade come on the river or the board to pair. So we raise it up and make it $475 to go. The small blind folds his cards right away and doesn't take long for the under the gun 1 to follow suit. He might have just bet to represent the 7, but unlucky timing for him because we had 2. The next hand we're going to go over, our hot streak continues. We're in the big blind and we look down at 8-5 suited. There's an open to $30 from the cutoff. The button and small blind fold. We make the call and the straddler gets out of the way. So heads up to a beautiful flop, Jack 6-4, all hearts. Can things be going any better for us? We check and flow to the pre-flop aggressor and he throws out a decent C bet, 1 black chip. No down bet here, huh? He has a little over $500 behind, and I think if we jam, we're only gonna get called by a bigger flush, which is not a likely holding he has with that C bet size. I mean, maybe if he has the ace of hearts, if he's feeling like he wants to gamble, he'll call. So I think smooth calling and just hoping the turn is not a heart is the best option. And he'll more than likely continue with whatever he's got. So we toss in 1 black chip as well. And the turn comes off the jack of clubs pairing the board. Now it's even less likely he has one, so odds are he has an overpair. So we check, and if he bets again, we can jam for his small amount remaining, and he might just be forced to call, drawing super slim. But we don't even get that chance to raise because he announces all in. I asked for a quick count just to be certain he has what I can see that he has and not any hidden blacks or random purples. It's around $500 like I said, and I'll just let the video play out.
That's fine. If you have a better flush, then
One choice?
I don't care, whatever you want. You saw my hand, yeah. You saw my hand. I let everybody choose. 2's fine. Hey, there you go. Yeah, I let everybody decide. I don't care.
I always go too, but it's up to whoever. I don't care.
People give me, they're like, you should go once. I'm like, well, what if it's reverse and then I lose or whatever, you know? I'm like,
he actually wasn't in as bad a shape as we thought, like 60-40 pretty much. No matter what, I'm always okay with running it twice, and if we happen to chop, so be it. It could have been the other way around. We run it once and he hits, so just minimizes the variance running it more than one time. No blood was shed on this one, but still running hot. Let's keep it up. Some new players came to the table, but it was still live and active, talkative, and players willing to gamble. 5 minutes later, it's not a crazy hand by any means, but just feeling like we can't miss tonight. We're in the middle position with Jack 8 of clubs. The under the gun 1 folds, we open to $30. Only the big blind makes the call. Same opponent as last hand. Heads up, and the flop comes 10-9-4 with 2 clubs. Flopping a monster, well, kinda. I mean, it's still jack high, but open-ended straight flush draw. He checks in flow, and we make a continuation bet to $25. He makes the call right away. The turn pairs the board. It's a 9 of hearts. He checks, and we don't want to get blown off our potential, so we take the free card. The river comes. It doesn't give us our straight flush, but we now have top pair. He checks for a 3rd time, and we bet the same amount as the flop. Maybe a curious ace high or a small pocket pair we'll call. Sure enough, he does call. We show, and it's good. He said he had a 10, so we got lucky, I guess, but still flopping amazing. We're having an awesome time. A few new players come to the table again, and one guy in particular we really get to chatting. He was also a poker vlogger. He said it was his first time filming this night. He goes by the name Nicky Shades, a really cool guy, into fitness as well, so we had a lot in common. I noticed he was trying to keep his phone up with his chips, so I offered my other stand so he can use. Just if you were wondering why the video angle was different going forward, it was just a little bit taller, but not much difference. This next hand, we are short-handed, only 6 of us. We look down at 9-6 of hearts on the button. It folds to us, and we open to $30. The small blind folds, but the big blind and the under the gun straddler make the call. So going 3 ways to a flop, and it comes queen 5-2 with 2 diamonds. We don't catch a dang thing, and against 2 players doesn't look good for us, but they don't know that. We've been running super hot, so maybe they'll give us more credit than usual. We c-bet $30 when they check to us. The big blind folds right away, but the under the gun is a non-believer. He makes the call. So now heads up, the turn comes off, the 8 of spades, backdoor flush draw comes in. Now there's 2 flush draws out there, but we have none of it. A gut shot straight draw, I guess, helps us a little. The under the gun checks again, and let's just keep on betting, shall we? No poker reason behind this one, to be honest, guys. Just can't win with 9 high, so gotta bet to win. We make it $80. He thinks for about 10 seconds and makes the call again. Dang it, a little stickier than I would have hoped, but maybe just bank a 7 and go for value. But the dealer says, you've been hitting too much lately, and flips over the jack of diamonds. So front door flush comes in, which is an obvious hand that he could have, but surprisingly, he checks on over to us for a 3rd time. Like I said on the turn, can't win with 9 high. Nothing's changed, so let's bet again. There's a little over $300 in the middle, so we go with a decent size, I think. A little over 2/3 pot size bet and make it $215. Not a polarizing size, but not a blocker size either. A healthy size, putting a single pair in a really tough spot. He tanks for a while longer and ends up giving his cards face down to the dealer. Again, we had nothing and no reasons to why we bet. It wasn't like, oh, we had blockers to this hand or our range this. Like, no reasons that I can even come up with right now as I'm going over the hands that'll make even the littlest of sense. But we just bet and our opponents folded, so we win. After a 30-minute food break, we come back. It's still 6-handed for a while. Straddle's still on, but it seems like our run good and catching hands have run out. Like in this one, we look down at ace-4 of clubs in the big blind. It goes 3 ways to a flop. We flop a gut shot and flush draw. We check, and action checks all the way around. The turn pairs the board. It's a 6 of hearts. I don't think anyone has a 6, so we lead for $40. Only the cutoff makes the call, so heads up to a river, and it's black, but it's a spade, it's a king of spades. We again have nothing, have to bet to win. We bet out $85, an enticing amount now that I'm looking back at it. But after around 30 seconds of tanking, he lets it go. So winning just by betting, simple as that. And even though the straddles were still on, 6-handed soon became 5-handed. And I didn't really want to draw for seats to go to another table and start all over again. So we just decided to rack up our chips, head to the cage, cash out, and call it for the night.
I know, guys, it was kind of a shorter vlog this time, but we got a little bit later start than we wanted to. Was on the road majority of the day. Last minute road trip with my brother and his friend. So again, was on the road for 7.5, 8 hours, and I'm used to flying, not used to driving, because driving, I mean, does suck. But again, it was last minute. He literally texted me yesterday morning and he was like, hey, we're going to Vegas and do you want to come? I was like, say less, let's go. Like, I told my clients, I was like, I'm out, guys. I'm not gonna be here this weekend. We can start training first thing next week, or we might be back Monday, like Monday night, so whatever. But yeah, so last minute road trip, and we got to the Aria around 9, and it took like an hour to get seated, so we didn't start till a little after 10, but only played for 3 hours. It was live right away at the beginning. I mean, the table, as soon as I got there, they're like, hey, are you okay with mandatory straddles? I was like, let's freaking go. Like, yes, let's do this. So kind of off the bat, already knew the table was going to be a good one, and it was. The numbers, we're in for 15, out for 32.75, 32.50, 32.75, something like that. So really good profit, but right away off the bat, the first hand, ace queen, and he had ace 9. I mean, I do like the way we played it. I was representing sets. I mean, I thought he had ace jack, ace queen, ace king. I was trying to get that to fold, and maybe we didn't make it big enough there at the end. I mean, we made him think for quite a while, but I don't think, even if I jam, I don't know, a jam kind of seems more bluffy, so I kind of like our sizing there. And it just so happened he caught his 2 pair on the turn. I mean, we had him dominated, he only had 3 outs. He just caught, and yeah, I don't blame him for calling. I mean, we did get him to think, like I said, but I mean, he was gonna call, so that sucked. Like, first 10 minutes of the session, I was like, it's gonna be one of those. But I mean, so we bought in for, oh no, so I lied, I lied, scratch that, edit, whatever. But yeah, we're in for 2K, out for 32.75. Yeah, because we added on $500. So yeah, we had it on the $500, and that's just all I had. I didn't want to get up and get more chips, so I just had it in my pocket. I had 2K on me, so I just added 5 blacks. Should have added more, I guess, if I knew I was gonna catch quads. But we got paid. I mean, out of position, and I don't even remember all the action, but it 275. I called, he called, or no, I checked. 275, got a call. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, if I just call and a scare card comes on the river, like, I'm out of position, like, do I open rip it, or do I bet small and induce a raise? Like, I don't know. I was like, let's just get it in right here, and we did. We got the first guy to tank for a while. I was like, if he calls, and then he might just be priced in. I don't know. I didn't even know what he had, but I thought he had aces or kings. One of the guys at the table said he saw paint, so maybe overpair, queens, kings. And yeah, catching quads. I haven't caught quads. I mean, we've caught roller flushes and straight flushes on the channel, but quads, it's been, I don't know if we ever have. I have to look back. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, so yeah, a lot of hands. And I don't know if we caught quads and got paid. Like, we got paid. That was awesome. Huge hand, huge hand. And yeah, that just made the session. But yeah, I only played for 2.5, 3 hours, so great hourly, I guess. And we were playing 5-handed there at the end. Still, the straddle was on, but only 5-handed. And I was like, looking around, I was like, there's really no other tables. Like, 3 other tables were full. There was one maybe like with 2 seats, and so there's 5 of us. I was like, I really don't want to flip. I mean, I don't know, it's already almost 2 in the morning, so I was like, let's just get some rest and yeah, start again early in the morning, maybe afternoon. I don't know. I might work out first. I mean, probably will work out first. You guys know me. But yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, we had a really good session. Really good hourly. Hey, the tram is about to close, so I'm gonna go get on it and head back to get the car because we are actually downtown. Yeah, I think we parked at the Bellagio, and I don't want to walk. So yeah, we're gonna hit the tram. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Always remember, it's a blessed day. Woke up today. Move your body. Please do something. I'm Matty Ice. This is Games Poker. Peace out.